Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video I'll be going through the Richmond vs Hawthorn game, going through how Tim Taranto put one of the biggest saves of the round on and got himself up to an actual decent VC or captain score for those people who stuffed up with McRae or Merritt and some other guys that really struggled, and how Sicily put on his best performance, came back to his best. And yeah, so the Richmond vs Hawthorn game, and what a classic it actually was to watch, with Richmond getting over the line in the last minute or two, coming back from basically nowhere to be right there and primed, and they won the game. So they'll be happy with that, obviously. So before we get into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So as you can see here, we look at the scores. Richmond 14 goals 12, so they should have probably kicked straighter and they would have won. And Hawthorn 15 goals 5. They pretty much did all that they could. Obviously, the collapse in the last 5 minutes didn't help. I mean, I forgot what they actually conceded, but I think it was similar to the Brisbane game the week before, 4 in about 7 minutes. Taranto, as you can see here, 21-30, so he got to 51. He was on 21 here, but if you actually look at it, he was on 6 going into 25 minutes here. He was on 6 before this 2 point here, then a 4, then a 6, then a 3, got to 21, and then went berserk in the second as well to get to 51. Okay, then he was on 75 at 3/4 time, so it was looking like a sort of how Dawson was tracking a little bit, like he wasn't going to be that that big captaincy score for people who did it, but then came out with a 41-point quarter, including a goal as well here. I'm pretty sure this set him up for 97, I want to say, 12, 15, 19, yeah, that was on to 97 with that goal, and I thought, he's going to go 120 plus at this point with the way he was tracking, and ended up 116, so it wasn't, it was obviously good for me, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people had him VC or captain, so it didn't really help. I mean, so yeah, that ended up, and it wasn't bad. Prestia 111, don't remember too much of tracking this game, as I think there was another game that was going on, I forgot what it was, but the 2 p.m. game I think I looked more into. So 38, 14, 32, 27. Graham 107, pretty consistent scoring from him. Ross 105, a good third quarter from him, and he rocketed up, and I'm pretty sure he might have been up there with Soldo and Taranto at 3/4 time. Soldo had a really good first 3 quarters and then failed in the last, I guess, but he was a good pick for anyone that picked him up. I believe he went up maybe 70k or so, Soldo, 64k. And yeah, he looks a good one for at least another week while Nanker's out. So whoever got him, if you could have gotten him and then someone else as well, you would have done really well, as I think he was obviously the better option over the likes of, well, I think he's more secure than like Darcy Cameron. So that's why I'm going to try and cover Darcy Cameron scored this week, I think. But yeah, he looked really good. Mark 97, just first quarter and third and last quarter basically saved his score. Noah Bolter was pretty consistent, it looks like here, and then last quarter didn't do much, but again got himself up to a 91. Broad, Hopper 89, 33, 9, 33, 14. Could have probably done a little bit more in the second and fourth quarter. 23 kicking that way isn't that great, but obviously an 89 score, I don't know many that will have him at this point, but I do think Hopper is someone that could jump next year, but we'll have to wait and see, and that'll be pre-season basically. Vlosten 85, Rioli I think got tagged by someone. It might have even been McGuinness that tagged him, it looks like it was, and that tag worked really well until they let the tag go in the last quarter, and Rioli went nuts. And obviously a 33 doesn't look like it went nuts, but he had a damaging impact in that last. Bolton 80, pretty sure he kicked like 1 goal 4 or something. 1, 2, 1 goal there. So that was 1 goal 2 he kicked only, so not too bad. McIntosh, Baker, Banks 74. I called it I knew Banks was going to have that breakout game, and I think this was it. And I'm hoping he gets another couple of good scores. I mean, this might show my team off a little bit. When do they play? They play on the Sunday. So, I mean, I could try and, with Gold Coast, one of my mids. But then again, with this is pretty much how it's going to look. Josh Dunkley's just coming into the side. I'm pretty happy with all those mids, obviously. So I'm not going to look to try and anyone in the midfield, I'm not really going to look to try and cover off. I could try and cover off the likes of a Harry Himmelberg and a Darcy Cameron through Euland, but I'd need another score, and I don't know if Banks will provide that yet. So that's something that's food for thought, but I'll probably just go with trying to cover off the one score, as it gets they can be too much interchanging with trying to do this and this and this, and then it gets too difficult. So I'll probably just look at trying to cover off one score with Windy rather than Banks. Cochin 62, Revolt, Mansell, Young, Pickett, Grimes, Miller, Colton Hard. He came on and actually looked really good. 30 points in just over a quarter is actually pretty good, but I doubt that he will play next week or have a damaging role next week. Then we move over to Hawthorn, Sicily 121. Absolutely amazing. He just did his job. That was as simple as that. Probably gave away 2 or 3 free kicks that weren't given to Jack Revolt, but I don't care. He did his job, got the 1-2-1, and yeah, there was a point there where I was texting one of my mates like that could have easily been a -3 for Sicily, but it ended up being 2 intercept marks, or something like that, or he got an intercept marked, and then he got it back, and it was, I think, a +12 in a matter of seconds. It might have even been, I think it was in the third quarter here or something, where he just got to +12 very, very quickly. Don't think it was in the first, so it could have been in the last here where he went nuts in this section as well. I think it was in the last, actually, now thinking about it. It might have been these two or these two here. He went nuts and got his score up there. 1-2-1 is amazing for him. Amon 100, yeah, pretty good. Job done for him, but I wouldn't be grabbing him just because of the inconsistency, and also he's a straight mid, which you really want guys that can go 110 plus, and I don't think with the variability of Amon that is a possibility. Mitch Lewis somehow got as a tool got to 99. Newcomb, Warple, Wingard, Will Day saved himself with a 27 and 25 to get up to 80. I was really looking forward to Will Day copying getting a 60, and then that really, really dropping a lot of people, but ended up getting an 80 and didn't really. It wasn't the end of the day, but I do think a lot of people will be trading him out at the top end for if they have him in the back line. You've got to get to the back 6 of Dawson, Dacos, Sicily, Doherty, Sinclair, Stewart, as that is the best back 6 if we look at defenders. And we go last round. You had the 2 Essendon guys, or the 3 Essendon guys. You had Caleb Daniel, but then again, Sinclair went 112, Doherty went 130, Stewart went 116, Sicily 120, and Dawson and Dacos, you're not going to drop out of your sides after sub 100s. So I guess Sheasel, but I'd be more looking at Sheasel thinking he can get into that forward line mix at that F6 role, and that's something I have looked at, but I just don't have enough cash in the bank to be able to make that maneuver for Sheasel, getting him in that F6 role and getting Darcy Cameron and Keys out yet. I cannot do that, which sucks, but yeah, if Keys, I think, had held price, I would have had enough rain to be able to do Sheasel and LDU in line for their West Coast game, which would have been pretty good, but I cannot do that, and decided to just get Dunkley in. So Day, obviously more, MP, Ward, Reeves, Nash, Scrimshaw, Brockman, Mitchell 59. I think Mitchell will be one in a couple of years where he really takes a leap, as I think he has the scoring potential, being a run from halfback in a heavily marked team. So I think he has the potential to go to that 90-95 average, but we'll have to wait and see. As I do think, like they were saying earlier in the year, it takes time for these guys to get used to that position at the halfback. I mean, Daniel Rioli has a very similar trajectory, I think, that we can expect from Mitchell. He struggled his first couple years and then moved down back, got an average of, I think, 70 odd, like Mitchell has, then had an off year and then went up to that 90 range. So I think Mitchell is one to look out in the future. Bruce, especially when Hawthorn start to get better, as I think they'll start to be able to control the ball a lot better, and I think Mitchell will be one that will benefit from it. Weddle, Hardwick, Frost, McDonald, McGuinness obviously caused the tag, Long, and then Granger Bass was on for I think 3 quarters or something like that, and still scored a 0. Don't know how you can physically even do that, but he did it. So I think he's going to be delisted or moved on at the end of the year just because he isn't good enough. But that is the video there. So that's the review of the Richmond versus Hawthorn game. And I guess I'll see you guys in another video. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.